number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock. Let's go!
Yo, what's up? It's that time again. It's Tuesday. It's time for the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast.
That's us.
Coming to you live every Tuesday night, the number one live Tuesday night podcast.
PIGZ.
Coming from Compton, California, where the potholes are as big as fuck. We should all get together and fucking sue the city.
What's been going on in Compton? What's the word in Compton now that Kendrick Lamar has reignited the fires of the world knowing about Compton?
I should have bought shares in Tams.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
100%.
That was from the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Everybody should have saw that. Like, you wanted. So what's it been like, Mario? Has there been a change in the CPT?
I haven't heard anything, Johnny.
Now that it hasn't been hot and down here in these streets?
Nothing.
Oh, man.
Maybe I'm not hanging around with the right people, but
Right.
I mean, I keep close.
You weren't even in the video.
I know.
Should have been.
Right.
I did know about it. I do follow the Compton Facebook page where you get all the gold.
They got the information there.
Shout out to Tracy. She's the main contributor. I don't think she lives here anymore, but oh my God, was she reporting daily?
Reporting
and on
live from Compton.
everything.
We should have her on the show.
I'll get
Tracy.
How could we not?
Where's
Get her in
Tracy?
here.
Tracy.
Tracy,
So
if
good.
you're out there, Tracy, shout out to you. She was giving you
So nice,
all
you
the
gotta say it
details.
twice.
Tracy,
Episode
Tracy.
172.
There we go.
All right. We came back from episode
1,000.
1576. in the future, we're back. Shout out to Carl, our buddy
What
who
up?
came in last week. What a great conversation. If you want to check it out, go on YouTube, check it out there. On Facebook, it might still be up.
Talking real shit about mental health and,
Yeah,
and
man.
healing.
It was just crazy. It was a crazy conversation, and it's crazy how these conversations just sometimes you think you're gonna talk about one thing, and it just turns into a
Left turn.
total different thing. We have our boy here. We welcome him back, Joel,
Joe,
also known as the Falcon.
what
Known this
up?
guy for quite a while, and we started talking about stuff of that nature, like mental health. And I bring it up because Joel was in an accident, and he lost his arm. He lost his right arm, and then he became a fucking artist. And I'm not talking about bullshit art. I'm talking about like shit that I was seeing going like, holy fuck.
Haunting.
This motherfucker is fucking sick. And the artwork he was doing, then he started doing some like, not just painting, but like actually like having the faces come out of the
Sculpture
kind,
yeah.
like a mix between
Mixed media.
mixed media for sure,
it's crazy.
and it's just his evolvement in art. It's crazy how one thing led him to this, and it is just amazing to see what he's been able to do. So let's welcome Joel once again
Hell
to
yeah.
the. And he was talking about how dark it was when you did go through that period
You got an
of
accident.
first
Yeah.
losing your arm.
Yeah, it's like real stuff, and if you're not around it, it's kind of like being brought up here compared to somewhere else.
Sure.
Like traffic, people were like cool with it here, Like, homies from Australia come over here and it's like, what? Like every day?
all day long. It's like this.
You're right. You've had the job for 20 years. You've lived in the same spot the whole time.
Yeah.
You're mental,
Yeah.
but that's the norm or whatever. So, everyone, it's kind of real stuff unless you're in it.
Yeah.
Famous people that take their lives, or what's his name, the cooking guy,
Anthony Bourdain.
winner, that guy, and it's like a shock, or the singers, the list goes on. A lot of it's drugs, but like the ones where it's like they're choosing to do it. They're
Right.
like, whoa, that's gnarly. And then you get on enough concoctions of things to tweak your mind, and then physical feelings as well, pain or whatever. You can find yourself in a rabbit hole real quick.
Absolutely.
And then they hit you with some like info that's going to be forever. You know?
Yeah.
Like take a seat. You know, you're like, I know what take a seat means.
Nothing good.
You're a doctor, you know,
Yeah.
and this combo isn't going to be short, you know. And I love short combos, especially if it's bad. Like, don't just tell me.
To get it over with, man.
I remember waking up when they like did the surgery to look how bad it was, and that was like the final thing. Like MRIs don't pull it up. It's too detailed. They only need one little nerve to still be attached, and it can regrow. So that's why they've really got to, go in there. So I knew once waking up from that surgery, I was going to get the deal. And I wouldn't wake up, so that was another whole thing. I wouldn't come out of the whatever. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours later. It was like they were like worried, like calling family members. Like, he won't wake up now. I was like, oh great.
He doesn't want the news.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah,
just
he's
take
like,
me
"Ah."
out. This is good. Give me more. Yeah, and I was just like looking for the doctor, like coming out of that. And it was just,
where's he at?
Yeah, and it was just like, I was like, what are we talking? Because he knew how I wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, just tell me. You know? He's like, it ain't good. And I was like, all right. Like, and I mean, but I've just tried to, having a son, it's just, that probably was the single thing that probably got me through it, So I'm having a kid soon. It's like negative for like, you know what I mean? It's like Christmas is right around the corner, like on steroids, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, if he's healthy, let's roll it, booked in to have it cut off. Like I was just, there's no time for, to chill because I know what it's like, going back in that, what we're talking about. It's easy to, if you don't have a lot going on and you can't get out of bed and
Sure. If you don't have something to look forward to, something to
Judge
talk about.
Judy isn't like interesting anymore. Yeah.
You've seen every episode.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of, and then you, even looking back, like I still trip out like, whoa, that guy took his life, or like Chester, Lincoln Park. I was like, what? Like, I think Josh was friends with him. Slide Bar Josh. I think he's actually babysat his kids.
Oh.
I think he has like 10 or 8 kids.
Holy
Chester
shit.
does. Same
Yeah.
lady, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
left
amount.
them all.
They live in PV, I think,
Okay.
right on the hill.
Oh.
Yeah, but I guess he was like decent. But just that's still a trip. But then I think back and I was like, dude, that, if I didn't own a shotgun, I had a pistol like I do now. Like, I still don't think, because I know I'm having a kid in a month, but
The thought was
you're
there.
a drummer and you're an artist, or, you're creative, you're physically into doing different shit,
And you had come down here to be a drummer.
Yeah, I moved to America for that. So, like, we got signed, and then we'd come out here, the band I was with, at the time, and we did one US tour. It was Terror, Every Time I Die, my band, Day of Contempt, and then Throwdown, which is a pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah, it is.
Like, if that tour was to happen now, it'd probably be at the Grove and semi-equivalent venues. And I remember we were flying home from that tour going, let's move there. I was like, I've been in the band 6 months. Like, my 5th show was like LA, like Chain Reaction. Like, and I'd known them forever, but I was the youngest. Like Dan Smith, the tattooist, like he's older than me, but he was like an older brother, So like, he's tattooed my parents, like tattooed me in my bedroom,
Yeah.
So it was scary as hell, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to let up the intense things that,
What a motherfucker. You move across the world
Yeah.
to be a drummer and you lose your right arm.
it was,
Fucking cool, man.
I think it was because I was so content what I'd done. Like I was okay, like I knew it was so hard to like make it as a band and to like not have a normal job.
Sure.
So I would like be working at the bar and like, all right, I got to go on tour again. Like, how long for this time? It's like every time you go on tour, you have that talk with your boss.
Sure.
Like, we have nothing. You know what I mean? Like, we couldn't work. We couldn't do, we could only work through the band because we had entertainment visas.
Oh shit!
So we
Sure.
were like, we weren't as smart as the dudes at Home Depot. You know what I mean?
Working
But
out.
we're like
On the
literally,
table.
it was the
Yeah.
same. It was the same shit.
Yeah.
We just don't. We just
Sure.
look different. Like I remember, me and our guitarist at the time. So I was like, dude, I got this guy, and he just wants us to drive cars from LA to OC. And I'm like, what do you mean? And we had like these dinky international driver's license, was just a piece of paper with like some shitty stamp. So I'm like, but if we get pulled over, he's like, yeah, it's fine. It's like they're company cars, and we're like, it was like this sketchy, like, all the dudes talking like Spanish. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, we're out of the loop. Like, we're either gonna die or like we're working with them, and like we're good. And yeah, they would just be like pick a car, I guess, and we'd just follow this row of cars, like 10 cars, and drop them at a lot, and then we'd all get in this bus and go back. And just move these cars overnight to this other lot with all these other dudes. And they weren't like being sketch. It was like,
Yeah, I was like, that's what we're doing.
they were just like, the illegal part is we're having you guys drive.
Like that's the illegal
Like,
part. None
LLC
of this
is
else-
legit though. Like, you guys are screwed if you get pulled over. But
Yeah.
yeah, and just.
We don't know you.
Yeah, different cars. Like, that one looks fast, whatever.
Let me try that
That
one.
looks funny.
Opposite
That
side
looks
of the
fun to
road,
drive.
steering
Oh,
wheels on
shit,
the opposite
yeah.
side. I was like, on the 5. Yeah. But yeah, it's been kind of madness, but I don't know, if you have a lot of negative things kind of happen, then the average things are cool.
So if you make life shitty enough,
Like I've never, I've
Waking up was rad.
yeah, like I've never had the bar high, and it's not like a negative.
I understand that completely.
I don't like falling far.
Or there was I
You know
saw
what
a thing
I
on
mean?
the
And
internet.
I'll probably nail it every time.
A dude.
Or I have an 8 out of 10 chance or something. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, no, my goal is to like. It's never.
He said that success in your life is measured by you, not by other people. Like not
Right.
like, and if you're like, yeah, I'm fucking successful, like
Right.
then you are. Like if you're like, I'm good right where I'm at, then that, and it is most of the time outside pressure that tells people they're not successful or they're not doing. It's not on the inside. It's like them like listening to whatever noise that they're hearing about what they should be doing or how they should be living their life.
Yeah, I think having the bar high for like overall, like long term bar, yeah. I just want to sell artwork, for my income, and be able to feed me and my family, cool, or whatever, like, but yeah, I've never like, I'm gonna like dominate in this field, and even playing music, oh, we got the AFI tour, like, rad, like, it would be cool to like chill with Adam and see what drum kits like he's into, or like whatever it may be,
Yeah.
like a cool hang. That's how I look at it,
Yeah.
or like, and it's always been like that. So then if it's like, oh, we might get it, we might not. This other band's trying to get it, and then the other band too, or whatever, or you think they suck, and you're like, really, they're gonna try and get it, like, like the politics of it. If it happens, cool. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you give 100% though.
Yeah.
So I'm not like a lazy dude, So it's like I gave everything. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I get bummed out, yeah, but I never. I don't know. I like little achievements. You know
Well,
what I
and
mean? And it kind of humbles you, I would think. On the back end a little bit more because you're not jumping.
Sure.
You're feeling every day of the grind. And whatever it is, if it's you guys coming here or going to work or setting up a festival, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if you're given 100% and not being lazy too, it really does take the pressure off of results. It's like I'm doing everything I can. Like there's like whether the results are coming has nothing to do with the effort that I'm putting in. And when you don't put in 100%, all you think about is, man, the results would have come if I would have.
Yeah.
If I would have just put in 100%, it would have come. Yeah, that's
how it is. Like there's times where I force myself to stay up to paint. Like I want to paint, but I'm wrecked. You know,
time
like
to
last
work.
night, I went to bed 4 this morning. Whatever, woke up 6:30, do my regular job. Like
That's what had
you
to be
either
done.
get it or you be a bitch. You know, there's no like that's how it works, especially here. That's how it works.
What got you
I'm
into
getting fired
painting?
up right now. To work.
What made you decide to? You lost your arm.
I could always draw like right-handed, like
Oh, okay.
like sketch or like draw characters or like you know what I mean.
Draw.
Yeah, just mess around, doodle. I messed around with watercolor a bit. Actually, Steve, do you remember him, the bartender at Slide Bar? Steve Witherill with the glasses, white kid, right? So he's in Seattle. I think he's teaching still, but he's married and up there. But I did this watercolor of Heath Ledger, like, but the Joker with like these pill bottles around him, like right after the death and stuff. But that was probably like my first, like, paintbrushes and like gear, you know?
Yeah.
And then what happened? Oh, that's right. I painted one of those plates at one of those ceramic places. You know, the shops where you can take kids.
Yeah.
And like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it was after my accident. And I was still in the cart, and I did
Color
it.
Me Mine, is that what that place is called?
Yeah, one of those. Irvine Spectrum, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did it left-handed, and I was like, whoa, and I just like copied a picture off my phone on like a plate, and it was like rad, and I was like, whoa, like it just takes longer.
You're like,
That's
I
it.
can do this.
Yeah, it just takes longer. But a lot of that stuff's messy, so it's like you get a lot of like happy accidents. You know,
It's
like,
emotionally, it's emotionally messy. I'll tell you that much. It's haunting. All of it.
yeah.
is
Should
so
have brought some
haunting.
prints for you guys. We could have put it on the wall.
Hell
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can
that
just leave
is-
the print here and then never come back again. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Where you left your mark.
There you go. That's why Mom always leaves comments on my stuff.
Good.
Um.
It's this Friday. Friday the 12th coming up, yeah?
Yes.
Where's
The
that at?
show.
Got a
HB,
show coming up in HB
Main Street, second floor,
Oh shit.
upstairs.
this Friday,
Next to
July 12th.
I know where I'm
Back
doing.
to the
second-
old
yeah,
stomping ground of
second
the
floor.
accident. See
I
how
know,
we just come
yeah.
full circle, you know?
Yeah. I'm now I know what I'm doing for date
I'm,
night.
yeah, right. I'm going back to the place of the wreck.
Hell
So yeah, that should be fun. I haven't done a show.
Is this a solo show?
No, my buddy Corey's going to be there too. He's in Huntington Beach. We've always kind of done art stuff, or at least once I started painting and stuff, he's always done stuff. So he's always reached out, or he's like, "Hey, we should do a show," or whatever, you know. Like,
I
So
like painting and doing stuff too, but when I see this, it's like it's next level.
Fuck yeah, it
You know what I'm
is.
Some
saying?
3D shit right here.
But even just the paintings, just the
It just-
stats, it's
like-
it's next level shit.
It's a-
but that is like night and day easier than anything that's flat. Believe it or not.
But the thing is that is
Because
easy,
once
is
I have
easy,
the mold good, it's party time.
But
you
as
know?
easy as you say it may be, the simplest
I mean, yeah, I
things
say that,
are hard
but-
as fuck.
But just for me,
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh, I should do one of those heads. Yes. Like it's been a while, like, because they're fun. You get what I mean? It's
Yeah.
locked in. Once that mold's made, it's there. I just choose what color palette I want to go with or what background. But unless I build it up to where it's covering those features, I'm kind of locked in with the mold. It's going to keep that, you know. It's kind of like
What do they represent?
mannequin.
What are they representing?
This shit is emotional, man.
What does it represent?
That's a World War I photograph of a guy, which is like this. I have all these explicit, like, I guess inappropriate wouldn't be the word, but like hospital photos of like real
Sure.
fucking shit. And that's just a straight like copy. And I was just like, well, what should I do to like not make it dark? And I was like, I should just use all these baby colors and like,
Look,
Still pretty fucking
Yeah, I
dark,
was
man.
about to say.
yeah, like just to see what it would do, you know? Because everything's like, I don't want it to be like the horror dude. Like I just want it to be more eerie than.
Rainbows and horror.
It is that
Yeah,
it's,
like
it's eerie
I
for
don't
sure.
want like blood and guts and.
I see the rainbow there. I'm so
Yeah.
pleasant.
Yeah, too many war documentaries, and I just went on a spell. I did that one. I did a bunch of like. So I mean, a lot of it's just seeing what happens, like spray paint. I have a bunch of different colors. I'm like, oh, that works, or it doesn't. Holy crap, that was like really thick texture. Now I'm going to be sanding for 3 days, so I might just make a new canvas and start again. So. It gets
just trial and
frustrating. Like
error.
whoever's been around me would know. Just like, yeah, Joel's on a good one or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, don't go out there. But yeah, I mean, even me and like my son and I will mess around. My son's like insane. Like, his pictures are like crazy. Like my son can copy like insane, and it's like hard because I'm like, dude, like you're really good. And it's weird because people will say that to me, and I haven't gone to school for it, and I'm like I think it's cool, and I think it's rad that you like it too.
Yeah.
You know, but it's hard to it's just kids, man. Like you want to push them, but you don't, and you don't want to be that dad, and you do want to be that dad.
Sure.
And
And you want to make him not like it from you, like trying to push it on him, and now he don't want
Right.
to paint anymore. Yeah.
like, dude, I got him into NBA Jam, like, but that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's NBA Jam, but.
Absolutely.
Dude, so I let him take the iPad with Grandpa for like the weekend. He comes back, he's like, Dad, I really got to show you this that I made. Because there's Procreate, that's what everyone's doing, those AI, that's the program. It's Photoshop made simple. It's actually amazing. I went to school for Photoshop for a year. So he knows how, you know, what brushes, the thickness or whatever on that app on the iPad. So he screenshot this player doing these huge dunks. He's like, Dad, it took so, and he's like me to where it's like, no, it's not where it needs to be. You know, like it's not
Yeah.
finished. And you're like, no, it is. So he's like, I had to find a player with the same skin tone as you. He shows me this picture, and it's the same guy doing 3 different dunks, right? With my head on the dude's body. Actual photo of my face, like cut out, lined up with the dude's neck of NBA Jam. And I'm just like you're 9. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
like just creative wise.
I thought you were
He's
going to say this
me.
was like 14, 15.
Right. No,
9
he's
years
like
old.
9. Yeah, like I did an auction just for a lesson, kind of for him or whatever. Like, no, dude, like you're good. You should do it. Like, we'll see if people like it. You know, maybe we can like do an auction or something. Dude, that shit went for like $200. It's like
Oh,
10 by
shit.
10 inches. Like 40 minutes at the house. Like, had a photo of himself, copied it. Yeah, like out in Palm Springs, like random lady. Like,
Liked it. Hey, that's
I'm
how it
driving out
goes.
there. I'm like, hey, dude, here's $200. Have you ever given an 8-year-old two $100 bills?
That they earn.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Steal it back when they're asleep. But
Sure.
So it's just kind of like that. Like, man, like, and he likes the money now because he's getting
Oh,
older.
yeah.
But I'm like, but he's very, he's very picky like me. He's like, Dad, I don't like colors though. Like, can I just do lead pencil? I'm like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like.
Is there
Yeah,
any of his
whatever.
work up on your?
So hit the thing that we auctioned off. If you go down further, where is he? Oh, so a little bit further. There's one. A little bit further. See, that's mine, and his above that guy in the middle.
Oh, right here.
So yeah. So if you click on that, see, Grayson did the left one,
Oh, nice.
and I did the right one, and she just got both. But like that was him color on a legitimate canvas, wood panel, brushes. First time.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
That's right up your alley there, Mario. That dark art.
Right there.
The dark art.
They got a pig I want right here. Look at
That
that.
pig's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
fucking cool.
It's like a reflection
This
of
is
myself.
this is
Oh,
Pig's studio.
Dude, black on a black frame. That thing's cool as shit.
Oh, we can dial one in for over here.
Oh yeah.
You get
Actually, that's how it all started with the logo. We got a gift from Cat Chaos. She painted it. It's behind this
Oh, rad. What is that suit though?
That's for a camera rig.
Rad.
And fucking.
That's for fucking. Oh,
She painted this for one of our anniversaries.
That's rad.
And then after that, the one behind you was done on an iPad as an updated version of this.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And you
then-
have one over your other shoulder as well.
That one's by another artist, Sammy Reese.
See, like stuff like that. I'm like, how do you do that? You know?
Yeah,
I'm
like
like,
the
it-
cartoons and shit. Yeah.
and the people that just like think of it, like my stuff's always kind of crazy in my head, so I always just kind of go and just like, okay,
Spit it out
take
on
away,
there.
take
Yeah.
away. It's a lot of like subtract, attract, or whatever. You know what I mean? A lot of back and forth. But these people are just like, oh, I want like some crazy pig, like tattoos, you know, like kind of like that. And you're like,
like exactly like that.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
You're like, that works.
Yeah, that'll work.
I do that all the time with my tattoos.
Yeah.
With Dan, he's just like, oh, I'm like, anyone got that yet?
I've had
He's
that
like, nah, and I'm like, you want to throw it on my back or something?
I had that
Sure, get in
conversation
the
so
chair.
many times. I was thinking about, that's something, and you give a terrible description of it, and the whole way better than you thought. It's like that. It's like, well, that's way better than what I was thinking of. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
that exactly.
And I think it's that creative though mindset too. They always add something, and the person's never really like, no, can you leave that out? Like, because they think outside the box. So I think
yeah.
the person.
That's why. That's when people talk about why didn't I ever tattoo, and it's because of stuff like that. Hearing those conversations and then watching them do it, it's like my mind doesn't work like that. Like I don't
Right.
like I didn't see. I knew I didn't see it how they saw it. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna
Right.
fuck this up if I do it. Like
I'm gonna make it exactly like you wanted it.
exactly because one of the most talented dudes, especially most talented tattooers that I see have that ability to hear your terrible idea. They don't hear what you say, they hear what you mean. And it's like, oh,
Right.
I got that. Like I hear you. I hear you when you don't hear you.
Yeah.
And it's like, but here you go. It's like, fuck me. Like,
Yeah.
yes. Like,
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
goddamn right. Earn every penny.
There's a guy on Instagram that will like flick his pen and you're like, oh, hey, I want, like an eagle here or some bullshit. And he'll draw like a fucked up one. He goes, all right, I got it. And then it comes out just fucking amazing,
Right.
No problem.
But he goes through the step of talking shit and drawing what you're telling him and it's some bullshit.
Yeah,
He
you're
goes-
turds. Like,
and then he's
"Ah."
like, you know what? Let me just do this.
How about instead we do something good?
Yeah, something cool.
It's kind of crazy the level that we're at with everything and how good people are.
Well, I just
So I
level-
just get bombarded with that shit.
The
you
level's
know, on
been very-
Instagram, and I'm just like, you're really good. No one cares about you.
The
Like,
level
you're
has-
fucking insane. Like, oh, you're like in high school, and like your portraits are like flawless.
The level of
Like they moved the photo out the way, and it's like the same.
Like that's
you know?
the side of what move the photo. Like what are you
Right,
doing? It's
yeah.
all it's the level of like I always talk about. If you take an average weed grower right now, just somebody who grows weed, he's like whatever, and you dropped him off in 1987. He's the greatest weed grower on earth.
Right.
If you took an average poker player right now and dropped them off in the 80s, they're the best poker player on earth. Tattooers, same thing. Like, and so it's all just going exponentially. People are getting better. Like the bar of like the level of entry. It's comedy too. The level
Right.
of entry is so much higher of competence, like to where you're like, everybody's good at everything. you know?
Right.
because
I'm
there's so
picky
much
with-
information out
Right.
there.
It's all out there. It's
Now,
all out there.
Is it technology or is it
I think
the
it's
process
both.
of
the
involvement?
both. It's both because
Is that
technology,
evolution or
the technology allows the cream to rise to the top.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
When with tattooing, I would say this like, all right, you're good. So what? Everybody's good.
right?
Like, what do you have to say? What do you have? What does your art have to
Right.
say? Because everybody's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, same thing with comedy. Same thing about like, all right, cool. Everybody's good. What separates?
separates
Now that
you?
everybody's good, what separates you?
Yeah.
You know, like,
And it's crazy that there's so many people to where you can have that broad difference between like comedians. Like I'm so picky with comedians. Like
But there's so many different types, and
Right.
different
Yeah.
types of jokes, and then you have the Latin ones, and then even within the Latin genre, you have Salvadorians, you have Mexicans, you
Right.
have Chicanos, yeah, and so it's like, fuck,
You
it's
just
so
said
hard.
Mexican 3 times.
there's
There's a lot of Mexicans going
a
around.
lot of different types of Mexican.
I might
OC
be the
Mexican.
only Australian in Compton right now.
Well, I think you
possibly,
are.
Side,
yeah,
hashtag side note. Just
Yeah, no,
throwing
for
that out
sure. But just yes, it's broad, and it's crazy because it just even in comedy, you know, from the guys we've had in here, everyone is so different,
Sure.
and you know, but we're all in the same place, and it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that
we're all
LA
doing the exact same thing, and it's like, well, why did I just watch the 5 of you do something completely different? It's like,
Yeah.
no, we're doing the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like, no, you're not, because I just watched you do it.
Yeah.
And you're not doing
But
anything.
there's so many people here that makes all those people be successful.
Sure.
Oh, you're
If there,
pushing
if
each
there ain't a
other.
lot of Hispanic people here, you know, pick any Hispanic, you know, it'd be a lot harder for him. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I think
That'd be like me coming here and making Australian jokes would probably even be hard, but there's probably still a market. You get what I mean? There's
Oh,
300 million people.
no, but what I'm saying is that it's pushing you regardless of what.
Right, because
Are-
you're
you're
seeing
doing it?
levels
Yeah.
of. I'm seeing crazy dudes do stuff maybe similar, so it might give me an idea. So now I'm going
Exactly.
to here, or
You're
like-
pushing each
We're
other
also-
without even trying.
We're standing on the shoulders of giants. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You watch who comes in front, then you're like, all right, this is where I start. Like you ended here. That's where I start. You know what I mean? Here we go.
Because
wrestling too. If you look- the best an average
Yeah.
wrestler right now would be the greatest best wrestler in the world if you dropped him off in 1987. You know, the Miz.
But what if we brought like Barry O here?
He would be same. He would still be Barry O.
Give us some love. But yeah, it just pushes you. But I think the ability, because look at this podcast, man. What gave us the ability to be on here? Our talent,
Mario.
yes, we like to talk. Mario,
Mexican in Compton. Oh, that's all you needed. You needed a Mexican.
but
More
it's
Mexicans.
It's the technology.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. The barrier for entry is low. This setup 25 years ago is not available for
Home use at all.
a person. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
no.
Maybe not
impossible.
single.
and not for
Yeah.
and not for the price that we paid today.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You
sure.
need like a $1 billion
You
back
have to
then.
be Christian Slater in pirate radio. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Make it-
LASIK used to be $25,000 to $3,000 an eye. Now it's like $200.
They do that shit
$25,000
in-
to $30,000 an eye.
Yeah.
And you get that shit at the indoor swap meet when you get your
Sure,
fucking
right.
churros.
Yeah.
Give you a ride home afterwards.
And you
Like,
can
come on.
and you can come out with colored eyes too. Them shits are green now. You're like, fuck.
Lizard man.
I got hooked
Yeah.
up. I got hooked up at the
I got the
indoor.
cat eyes, bro.
right.
But yeah, definitely, man. It's just crazy technology, but always there does have to be talent.
Sure, the tools are being improved.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that they don't need a craftsman to wield them. You know what I mean?
Because there's kids
Like,
that can be great basketball players, young kids. They have cams, they have all this shit. But once you get to college, your dream's over.
yeah.
Right.
You're done. Because you're
Done.
not.
You're
not
7
not that
foot,
guy.
but
No, you're not even 7 foot. You're like 6'11". You were kicking ass in school.
Yeah, sorry.
But
Right,
here is no longer. And that's just the best analogy I can use because, you know, when people are like, oh, you can be anything you want. To an extent.
Sure.
You still
can't-
have to
you
have
know.
that talent.
that being said, though, in the NBA, think how many 7-footers are shooting 3-pointers these days.
Now, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
way more.
They've evolved.
Yeah.
They had to.
They had their.
Because the
There
game
would be
changed.
people that would just watch Laker games to see if Shaq would like shoot a
that-
free throw.
but
you
that
know
game-
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And it's like now there's like dudes like 7'7", like swish.
Did you guys see that high
Like
school
Wemmy,
kid? The high
like-
school player, he's 7'9",
Oh,
going
yeah.
crazy. That's insane.
It must be the photo I seen.
He's in
It
high
was like
school,
his
he's
toes are still
7'9".
touching, but it's
Yeah.
like a live
and he looks like a
game.
regular dude.
There's
'Cause
a
you-
kid that's playing baseball in like not even high school yet. And he's throwing 94 miles an hour, hitting massive home runs.
See, that's something that's not technology.
No,
You get
that's,
what I
that's
mean?
power.
But that is technology because that's nutrition. That's fucking all these things that we didn't know about. People didn't even know how to eat until 15 years ago. You know
and
what I
when we
mean?
were
Like,
kids, we weren't playing just one sport all year round.
there's no specialists. You know, what
We
I
were
mean? Like,
skateboarding. We were
Yeah,
running
yeah.
around playing tag. We played at the local park for the Boys and Girls Club or whatever it was. You played
Right. You weren't play in your club team or
No.
on your travel team. You
teams.
know, like, get the
But you
fuck
got to think
outta
the
here.
competition too with everything
Yeah, but
is going
That's
up
the internet
as well.
too. That's technology and
Yeah.
connecting everybody. You're like,
Parents with their kids now are
Yeah.
even acting different. The
but
parents,
see,
not even the kid.
But those,
Like,
but
or
the
whatever.
best would always come out anyways. Even if it was just at the Boys and Girls Club, there was always that one cat that was just fucking good.
Right.
Whether it was basketball, whether it was whatever it was always those kids. Even in junior high school, when you played Pop Warner, you just already knew who. Man, that fucker has it.
when I was a freshman in high school, a senior at my high school, Curtis Conway, went to USC and then was a first round draft pick of the Bears as a wide receiver. He was the quarterback on our high school team. And
Crazy.
he was so obviously head and shoulders better than it was like. And then after that, it's like, oh, this dude's good. It's like, man, I've seen what good looks like. This dude, like the next year, oh, this dude's the shit. It's like, I've seen what fucking the shit looks like, and this dude ain't it. You know, like,
Dude, I was in my godson's wrestling tournament at Western High School, and there was this one kid, this black kid, and he was 15 years old, like 6'2", just ripped, and he was destroying everybody. And I was like, okay, that guy's going to be on the Olympics for sure.
like there's a dude right there.
And he's 15.
Dwayne
Right.
Johnson.
Dude, just insane. And you just see the guys, that just have it naturally.
It's like, oh, there's levels to this.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, cool, there's levels.
There's
Sweet.
major levels.
Didn't realize.
And there's major levels to also coming back from an accident and a life-changing moment and getting out of it and then creating, man. And it's been amazing to see and experience it from afar
Right.
and just see what's developed,
And it's probably even more trippy for you because we've known each other so long.
No,
You know, like I know Drummer Joel. Like
Yep.
I know, probably can't understand him, Joel. You know, Joel talking to the cops or whatever it may be. It's still a trip though sometimes. You know, because I don't stop ever. Like so it's kind of a trip for me too to like take a break, seeing people like you guys and hanging out, and then I realized too, like, whoa, that was gnarly, or like that is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like I don't do that enough. I don't go like, hey Joel, it's cool, like it's fine. You can get at it again.
Yeah.
Get some rest. Like the mum
Sure.
Yeah.
just doesn't kick in ever. It's just go because you're that hungry, and then you hit rock bottom. And then you're tired and you can't or whatever because you just go non-stop. But it's cool to like just take a break in general. You know what I mean? Let alone see, take that minute to look back and see how far you come. Because if you don't realize. You
have to give yourself
other
some time
people
to
might
do that.
even notice, but like you're crushing it.
Well,
Or,
no, there's
like,
people
how
that
did you
do.
do that? And I'm like, in my
Do
head,
what?
I'm like, dude,
Do what? I do
I got 8
anything.
hours sleep, and I should have got 5. They're like, dude, you're crushing. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like,
But
I
that's
should go
just
home right
you.
now and finish it. Like,
The
you haven't
thing is,
seen
though-
nothing yet, bro.
No.
Like, it's like that. It's
Yeah.
torture,
But the thing is that even myself, like I've working at K-Rock, I always had a big crew,
Right.
and everyone had dreams. Oh, I want to be an artist. I want to be a comedian. This and that, and you always hear these people always, I want, but never put the effort. And when you see someone like yourself that you're not left-handed,
Right.
you lost your arm. You could have said fuck this shit and just done
You
whatever.
could still be bitter to this day, very easily,
Yeah.
and everybody would be like, "I understand." You know what I
But
mean?
yet you went and you fucking like, you're a fucking amazing artist. Your barriers were so much greater than these guys that are just sitting there
Saying they
talking
want to.
about it, wanting it,
Right.
saying they want it. I've used you as an example multiple times for different different people,
Right.
because it's like, fuck, you're wasting your time.
Sure.
You're wasting your talent. You're wasting your time. You're wasting the ability to figure it out. And maybe that's not what you're really supposed to do.
But get on the road so you find out what it is you
Yeah.
are supposed to do. Start doing this so you can figure it out.
This young man came here to be a drummer. Now he's a fucking artist with one arm. And it's the arm that he doesn't draw with. And he's fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
And he has an art show this Friday, 5 to 9. in Huntington Beach. And if you don't go out there, you're
Second
missing
floor
it.
gallery,
Second
Main
floor
Street.
gallery, Main Street.
I
It's just
appreciate that,
crazy.
though. I appreciate that. But yeah, to me, it's like a disease I can't control. Like creativity. Like
Sure, it's a
But,
monster.
it's almost like an addiction.
I'm already like sitting here. I already know what I'm doing and the steps I'm gonna take as soon as I go home to finish a piece that I want to put in the show. I know what colors I'm gonna pull in what order. It's already happened by default. Like it's like if I show you something, and your eyes are open, you're looking at. You might not pay attention. It might be muted, but you see.
yeah.
Your brain has processed.
I could ask you what color did the shirt the guy had on, or whatever. You'd know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's not like I have to think about it, or I'm making it up, or I'm planning it. It's just like this needs to be done. It's just like stop, like
Beat it.
trying to sleep. Like we didn't sleep last night. Remember,
Yeah.
brain? It's a lot of that too.
But it's
to where-
also filling the gap of the pain, of the remembering, of the fuck, woe is me, of the, you know what I'm saying? All this shit that you could fall back on and get in a rut
Right.
is replaced by that madness of wanting to create.
Yeah, it's a good distraction
Yeah.
for sure. But that being said, I don't think everyone's like that.
No.
It is what it is, and I feel for those people.
Yeah.
Like I really do. To where like they don't even know maybe that their personality is that, and they're born that way. So is it even their fault that they're not
Trying.
right?
Or that they're doing what they were programmed to do.
Right.
They came out doing this.
My grandpa was laying bricks, completely deaf at 70, whatever years old. Like, Grandpa retired. Stop. Stop. Yeah.
He wanted to make
Like,
bricks.
or whatever. So I think it might be a bit of, how you were raised and all that stuff too. But here, it's vicious, America holds.
America and then Los Angeles specifically too. Like
Right.
you're,
I'm in the
you're in
crap.
Southern California.
Yeah.
It's even worse
It's
than
fun
just
though, 'cause,
America.
we got good Mexican food. So. You know what I mean?
That trumps everything.
Right,
Don't
right.
worry about nothing else.
I'm
We
like-
got fucking good Mexican food. The rest will
Especially
take
that-
care of itself.
I'm like,
All meat burritos.
All
right.
meat burritos, guys, available on Alameda.
all meat?
all meat.
All meat.
Tortilla and
you don't
meat.
need it. You don't need anything else.
How do you wrap it?
With the tortilla.
No,
I mean,
no,
there's
with the tortilla,
tortilla,
but all meat, no beans, no rice, no pico, no salsa, no cheese.
Nothing else is
Meat.
needed.
just a tortilla and two kinds of meat.
Ketchup?
Nothing.
Tomato sauce?
Nothing.
No hot sauce when you get home. No nothing.
You
The
know,
juices from the meat.
yeah, exactly.
Is that your go-to though?
That yeah,
This
absolutely.
happens?
They
Yes.
know
Oh
him.
no,
no, they know
this
him.
is all the time.
When you roll with me, we're VIP there.
I get it though.
There was a line.
Sometimes
I
you
went
just
with-
want them, like sometimes the other shit
Yeah,
is
gets in the way.
unneeded.
Sure.
You're
I went
just
with
like,
him one time, and there was a line, and they waved him. They were like, "Mario." They were like, I wish I was kidding. They were like, "No problem, come on over."
See, that's because of the pig.
I
Right.
knew. Hey,
Supporting
the
our
puerco's here.
locals.
That's right.
Cook up some more meat.
Bueno, ¿cuántos? Uno, dos. Uno, dos.
But he always takes everyone there, so they do know him. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's pushing our product.
Yeah.
He's pushing our product.
That's the only thing I miss about like being out in LA all the time is all those like hole in the wall kind of rad food,
Food spots.
culture.
Yeah. It's-
Like I like it. You know what I
It's
mean?
so- just
I'm very culture and
Last
history and
Wednesday,
stuff, yeah.
there was two comedians. We were at the Improv, and there was two comedians who were from Australia. That's so fun. And so I was like, I'm just chatting them up. What do you guys, how
Right,
long?
right, right.
You ever been here before? They'd never been here before. They're doing, and I go, so what's been the best part so far? And they were like, being able to pull up to like some place that doesn't have a sign, just a little tent or whatever, and have it be the best food you've ever eaten in your life. They're like, we've done that multiple times a day. It was a big fat
Yeah.
guy too. He's like, we've done that multiple times a day the whole time we've been here. And I was like, fucking A right, man.
Yeah, we don't. We have nothing like that. Like especially the Hispanic culture. You know what I mean? And it's like, my son's part Hispanic, and it's like I've always been around it out here.
Yeah.
Not just because I live here. Like
Sought it out.
You're right. I've had everything homemade, authentic. The whole run. I'm like, I don't think she can understand me, but I'll take two of them. I had a bite of hers, and shit was good. But yeah, like in Australia, it's just like nothing like that. It's just I mean, we have cultures, but like
Different.
to
It's just
see
Yeah.
like that on the side of the street, like what? Like, whoa, that's cool. You know, like I remember like tripping out.
And they're everywhere now. I mean, they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
You go down Atlantic and there's like 20 trucks, 10 tents,
Yeah.
and everyone's selling from tacos to churros to, I mean, it's everything.
The hustle, though.
No, you
You know
have
what
to.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how hard people work here.
Not how hard they have to work.
Specifically Hispanic
Well, you know,
males, like to come here and see the work ethic. You know, I'm at Home Depot a lot. I'll do deliveries and stuff for them. You know, and just it's a very like it's disheartening though as well because there's so many of them. Because I go to different Home Depots, and I'm just like, there's like 100 dudes at this one. Like, where are they sleeping? Like I think like that.
Sure.
I'm always out like other angles looking in. Do they have kids? Like, is their family even here? You know?
Yeah, what do they do?
whatever.
Right,
Like,
right, they send
like,
that
where do
home-
they
that money
live?
home.
Are they like chilling together? Are they homeless?
Oh yeah, they are. Chilling
And the hustle and the workload and personal friends, you know, and really, 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 really good friends that I have. It's just kind of another level, you know what I mean? So to see like food and then it's the whole culture because we don't have it.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they're just here visiting, doing a show at the Improv or whatever. But if they were to be here for 6 months, they'd be more blown away by the rest of the
Sure.
Hispanic culture they have no idea about. You could tell them like this used to be Mexico, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah,
That's
right,
right.
really, mate? You know, like,
Really, mate?
you know, you fucking tripping, right? Like, you're like, no, it used to be like for real, and they're like, oh.
I had
They'll
a
probably think
guy-
you're messing with them.
I had a guy who worked on my house with me for about a year, and he came over illegally. He crossed the border, and I'm talking through the desert, through the mountains and stuff. Every time he'd come over, he stayed here for 5 years, made his money, bought 2 houses in Mexico, bought an apartment. He has 2 kids. He hadn't seen his kids for 5 years, except on FaceTime. And he finally was like, last year, he's like, I'm done.
Going back.
I'm it. That's it. I met my goals. I'm going back. And he goes, if you're ever in Mexico, I'll have the fucking music and the brews, bro. I'll see you there. And he
Hell
bounced.
yeah.
That was it. It was cool. It was good to see because there's so many stories of people coming and becoming alcoholics, getting into drugs, getting into other shit, and never meeting their goal.
That story that you're saying is the stripper that's going to nursing school.
Yeah.
You hear it a lot, but that's not what happens.
No.
You know what I mean? That dude did it. He did the thing
He did.
that everybody says they're doing. You know?
And he became a nurse. You know? He did.
In Mexico.
He came here, he did it, and he left. Unfortunately, he did leave a brother here who, you know, does work his ass off, but loves the party just a little too much.
Sure.
And doesn't save enough to make it to get out.
Didn't have his eyes on the
just,
prize.
you know, yeah.
He's just still going.
And but the thing is, he has family over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
His wife and his kids, and he's just like, you know, once you get here and you taste it, and he's like, oh, you know what? I have this apartment. I'm not working as hard as I worked back there,
Right.
but I'm making
I'm doing
American
better.
money, and then I get to party on Saturday and Sundays at the Anaheim Indoor. Fuck it, you know?
Find me a new wife.
Hell yeah.
Give me some new kids.
I remember I took a guy on a ride, and he lived in Mexico, but worked in San Diego, like 6'6" black dude. And he's talking to him. Mind you, I missed the exit, so there's just like, hey, Hispanic cops, you know,
Yeah.
Mexico cops, or whoever was right there. And then they moved us to another group of dudes in a different uniform, but they all had guns. I was just like, we're gonna fucking die, like
Yeah.
Australian and some 6
Federales.
6 foot tall black dude, and he's full on Spanish to him, right in. And his wife was waiting there, but he's like, yeah, he's like, dude, everyone's like American on my street, like Super Bowl,
No
like
shit.
we blocked the street off, like it's just like home.
He's got Jesse the Body.
He's like, you just got to make sure. Yeah, he's like, I mean, I'm not going to wear my nice watch downtown and stuff, and I got to make sure my blinds are shut. And I was like, oh, okay. It's starting to like, but you
Makes
know,
sense,
also
yeah.
get used to it, and
Yeah.
you know,
There's places out here that you have to shut your blinds.
I was like,
and-
yes, I shut my blinds and lock my door too.
Yeah.
yep,
And I have my piece,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah,
That's anywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, there's more and more people that are leaving here and living abroad, you know, whether it's Ensenada, whether it's Mexico or, Puerto Nuevo or anything in between, and it's just
Everyone's trying to
live.
chill,
Yeah,
And
why
they're just
not?
gonna keep going south,
Just fuck, it's all about
So
chilling, dude.
We're chilling.
When you guys talking about people like working hard, it just made me think of. I see there's two comedians that I know specifically. They're both girls, who neither one of them have cars. So they're just out here huffing it, and you'll see them come up to like an open mic at the. The look on her face, I tell like something bad happened, and I was like, "What?" It's like this guy was just being weird to me on the bus, and then I had to run from him when I got off the bus and all this stuff. And I was like,
Right.
I don't love comedy as much as you do, because they were all like, and it's like I wouldn't do the things you guys do for both of them. I was like, I see them, the places they show up to, and the routes that they had to go to get there, and it's like. I would just be at home. Like I would be like, oh, I guess I don't get to do comedy until I get a
Yeah.
car or someone
Right,
gives me a
right.
ride, and they're like,
Is that normally how that works? For the most part, is open night like
sure?
your token kind of way in. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if
yeah,
you didn't,
for
if
sure.
you didn't know anyone or whatever,
That's the
like,
way in. I mean, that there's really if if my best friend was Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., Joe,
Right.
whoever. There's no way. There's no. You
Right.
can't skip steps. Like there's no.
Right.
There's no skipping steps.
It's happened.
Sure,
And
but
no,
you
no,
go
no,
back. Yeah, you
Right.
go. You go. You
Brendan
think
Schaub.
you skip the steps, and if at some point you skip steps, you will have to go back and do them. Like that's
who
just
was talking about? I think because there's a couple of comedians that like I'll listen to podcasts or whatever, and some I've got to be in the mood for certain ones. For the most part, they're all kind of the same, like I guess kind of style or fall under the same kind of category. Like
Sure.
the more Bill Burr's like really good. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy how they talk. I forgot who it was, but they were saying the exact same thing as him, to where it's like, there's people and we can tell, if
Sure.
and it might not even be a total bit and joke from someone else. It's not always that black and white, but like there
The
was.
premise.
Yeah, and I was like, it's kind of like music, like
Right.
you haven't
It's
paid your dues, like you can't play third, like you're playing first,
Yeah.
Like, you guys dropped an EP 6 months ago, you're first.
you're first. You're first. You're doing 4 songs. Be happy
Right.
about it.
I don't
You know
even
what I
care
mean?
that you're American.
And
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's all who you know as well
Yeah,
helps. So I'm sure, like,
Oh, look,
if you
having the right
were
friend-
already funny and had maybe
There's-
a following, then a bigger guy can be like,
There's
hey,
for sure ways to expedite this. A good example right now is a dude. Do you know who Jason Ellis is?
yes, the Australian. Yes.
Jason Ellis is
I know his wife.
cutting
Quite-
through comedy, right? But he's fucking hysterical. But he's also had like a bunch of other jobs that prepared him for like
Right.
being on the radio for fucking however long he was. This for sure helped him a lot. But and every time that I've seen where he's gotten an opportunity, he's destroyed it.
Right.
And he's hysterical.
Yeah,
Like,
he's been
so-
funny for a long time. I remember listening to him on satellite radio
Right.
and knowing about him when I lived in Australia.
Well, I
As
mean,
a
he's one of the
professional
most
skater, and that was
famous
it.
Australian skateboarders there is, right?
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, he was some other personality. It was
Yeah.
just like skateboarder.
Yeah.
It'd be like me saying Tony Hawk. You wouldn't be like, oh, that's right. He's the host of this as well as skateboarding. You
Oh,
know,
sure,
He was only like that. I didn't even know he was that funny. And I've known Katie, his partner,
Yeah.
for a second go in America, like talking before I moved here. Like
Oh,
same
yeah.
group or whatever. So yeah, when she started posting pictures, I was like, "What the fuck?" And like wrote her, and she's like, "Yeah, you're gonna meet. Come up there, like."
Hell
whatever."
yeah.
But yeah, that guy's really funny. I think if you're Australian, you have to go like the beer, crass, like token, like we are crazy.
A
You
little bit
know,
of
like
that, sure.
like
he was
Jim
talking-
Jeffries, like is the token like Australian, like kind of guy. You
Sure.
know, like beer on stage. Like you go to a local comedy show in Australia, I'm sure it's like 5 guys, just exactly the same. You know,
That's funny.
Different flannel shirt on.
There
you know?
was he got on one of the shows we did. He got we were picking like topics out of a bucket.
Okay.
And one it was to sing a theme song from a show you liked.
That's good.
And he was like, "But you guys aren't gonna know some kangaroo song, some kangaroo show."
Okay.
And he was like, I'll sing it anyways. And he started singing the theme song to this children's kangaroo show.
It's probably Blinky Bill.
That's exactly what it was.
See?
And we died. But it was just because you're saying like the people don't, it's not knowing us, not because he's just singing the song, but us not
Right.
knowing what the hell he was talking about.
Right.
We're all dying, you know, like because he was
Right.
like, oh, you guys never heard of Binky the kangaroo or whatever? We were like, what the fuck are you talking
And you're
about?
just creating your own ideas of what it may be, so it makes it even funnier.
Right. Then he's singing
Right.
this song where it's like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
It was
It's
pretty-
kind of crazy how it's like that. Like Australia's like America, but then we have our own replacements.
It's like
Oh, no,
Canada.
yeah.
It's
Does
like
that make
Canada.
sense?
It's
So
like
it's like-
Canada. Same thing.
right.
Like they're just us, but they have their own fucking thing
Right.
going on too.
The difference is though we get shown all the American shit as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there's not enough news. You know what I mean? There's not enough illegal guns back home. You know what I mean?
There's not enough shit going on. It's like,
Right.
all right, well, that's all the Australia news. So,
All right, so now we're
let's,
going to cut back to the cult leader who has 38 people held hostage in a church in Missouri.
Yeah.
Take it away, Barry.
It's like, yeah, why does anybody in Australia even know what Missouri is? You know?
Right.
There's no reason.
They
Why are
they
you
heard-
moving there?
They heard Ice
Yeah,
Cube.
I was like, great question. Still trying to work out why I'm moving here.
Because you listen to rap. That's why.
Right, 20 years later, still here.
Listen to Ice Cube talking about Missouri.
And now I'm on a podcast in Compton, huh?
Hey. You know
Extra
what I'm saying?
street cred.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Talking about all meat burritos.
All meat burritos, artwork, comedy, and just getting through life, bro. Really, you know? Pushing through, persevering
Yep.
through whatever it is that we have. And I think this is what, you know, your story, in my opinion, your story tells, man. You know, someone that could have given up, and I'm not saying like give up like your life, but just
Right.
say
Give up.
fuck it, just give up and
Right.
just get a
Find-
job, and
Get drunk and talk about what you used to. Man, I was a fucking drunk.
Right.
you know, and people do that. There's a lot of people like that.
And I dig that, you know. Like the older you get, you know, you got to be happy. You know what I mean? You
But what
gotta
I'm
be-
saying is that you went, instead of just saying fuck it and just drinking beers
Right,
and telling
right.
stories, you're creating new stories.
right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And it's it's
and hope, and
Yeah.
hope to someone else.
yeah.
You know, that might be down on their luck for whatever reason. Not because they
Right.
lost an arm, but because maybe they lost a job or they did this or they
Right,
did that, and they're
right.
like,
You got given an out.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got
totally,
given an out,
totally.
and you were like, I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna like fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm going back in and doing something else. You know.
Yep.
'Cause it's easy. It's easy to give
And there's
up.
plenty of people that get outs that are like, oh, and not even an out as good and big as yours, but it's just an out.
right.
And they're like, oh, there's my out. Like, fucking, it's not my fault. I would have done it, but this thing happened, and it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, my life sucks because of that. You know, and spend their whole life
Yeah.
pointing at that thing.
But then when you don't get, I would think, when you don't get that coming to you, now the depression and the negativity triples when you can't be like, but I've only got one arm. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. But
if I didn't have a son, we might not even be talking.
Sure.
but you do, and we're here.
Right.
Right.
And
So I can't just be like, I'm this like mentally on top of it. Like
But who
I've
is?
straight up, I hate motivational speakers.
but who is? But
Well,
who is?
I'm sorry because you've done a great job of it for the past hour.
Yeah.
But I ain't getting a check for it.
No, but,
But
you're
you know
not-
what I'm saying? In that
Yeah.
sense, I'm like, you
You're not-
either got it or you don't, and not in a rude sense.
No, for
Like
sure.
out the gate, I was a go-getter that goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Having my son, okay, he needs me.
Yeah.
Like I'm wanted. I'm still clocked in.
you
I
saw
can't go have a
beyond
sm-
just yourself.
And I'm glad that I did, you know,
Yeah.
because I could have went the personal. Oh, I'm gonna be like this forever. Are you kidding me? Like I'm 30 or
Yeah.
whatever I was. You know what I mean? Like, and then what? He's gonna grow up and be like, oh yeah, my dad. He's gonna bring up the accident to every single person he talks to.
What's up with your dad? Oh, man. he was
You know
yeah.
how it actually goes down? You know what I mean? As of right now, it's a whole, it's dad. Jim, come over here. It's my dad. I told you I had one arm. And I'm like, you know, like teachers are like, oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever. Like, it's just owning it. Just suck it up. You know what I mean? Like,
Suck it up.
You made it cool.
Life's a bitch, you know what I mean? I didn't have to ride a bike either. You know, it's all how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
I could go poor me, you know? I could have pushed that lady down the stairs and ended her life when I met her too. You know, it's all perspective. You
the
know,
monks at I went to Thailand and stayed in a monastery,
Right.
and the dudes there said that, and this is whatever, but that life is suffering. Like it's
Right.
the only a fool expects it to be otherwise. Like this is, and when you accept, then it just becomes like, yeah, this is what life is. Like whatever, like yeah, bad shit
Right.
happens. That's what happens in life. Boom, boom, boom. You just gotta keep, and it's people that are like, only good things are supposed to happen to me all the time. Like those are the
Right.
people that take a bad shot to the heart, and you're kind of like, I can't do it anymore because they expect
Right.
only good things to happen to them, and that's just not fucking life.
and they don't realize how strong mentally they are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like all those kind of intruder, whatever, they like got away. You know, what was that show where it was like they escaped death or whatever it is? Or it's kind of like a locked up abroad type of thing, like Close Encounters, or they got kidnapped,
Sure.
or like whatever. And it's like fight or flight. Like that's
Yeah.
like real stuff. You know what I mean? Like to where the girl was strong enough to get this guy 3 times the size of her off of her, you know, whatever. And it's like, you can't lift anything, but there's that like, and when you have a kid, it helps to be like that. Like, I would never forgive myself if he was like ever embarrassed of my workload
Fuck
or,
yeah.
Oh, you
or
were.
fucking, I'm going to crush it. And I'm going to be like, get ready to take over.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be looking at him next, you know, like that. You're going to be noticed by default anyway, because this stuff's going to be noticed, you know.
Yeah.
And you have the gift, so you might as well do it, you know, like,
You might as well.
or whatever. Like, you know.
But look what it took for him to realize his gift of art, the
Right.
path that you had to go through.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Without that,
Right.
without you getting there, there's no him doing that. you know?
Right.
Yeah. So you sacrificed an arm for him to become
And
an artist.
that's kind of the mindset before the art stuff.
Yeah.
It was just have him be healthy.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, I can
Trade that for this.
Yeah.
You can take both. If I have an issue when that kid comes out, I'm gonna, you know,
That's
like,
gonna be a
it's not
problem.
going to be good.
The issue.
If there's an issue with him,
That's gonna be a problem,
You know,
man.
I'm legitimately worried about myself. You know,
Yeah.
like I couldn't imagine, and you know, and I'm beat up. Nurses are coming in, checking on her, and thinking, like, "You're dead."
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pull him out good. You know?
Yeah.
So it was
One
very much that, like, whatever, dude, he's good. He's only ever known me like that, you know? I'll put
Yeah.
up videos, whatever, whoever it may be, you know, Tiger Army Live in Europe, you know? And it's just
Yeah.
like, I go, see it? He's like, all right, I believe you.
I believe you were a drummer.
Yeah, or whatever, you know?
Hey, you're a drummer. You just have 2 arms. We get it, Dad.
Right. Or he'll be like, oh, like, show me one of the concerts. Like, he'll just randomly think of stuff. I've never been like, oh, like,
Yeah.
Check this out.
you weren't around for it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's photos and videos.
Yeah. It exists out there. in the-
Yeah,
in
like
the ether.
musically, or I was like,
Yeah.
if you want to play drums, I can still teach you, dude. Like, you'll be able to crush it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you'll be good or whatever. And, you know, let him do his own thing. Like, he'll
Exactly.
excel. He's mental like me, you know? Like, he's very adamant at how he wants things. He thinks about others or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
We're very personality the same. Very much so. Like, he'll even say, so we're like the same person, Dad. Like, we have the same itchy spots on our back, you know? Or whatever it may be. We always get hot. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. in
Yeah.
bed. You know, both of us, boxer shorts, that's it. Like, no blankets, dying fan on us. You know, it's like, or whatever, you know what I mean? But, like, he sees it and, you know, trying to get him to embrace it, though, and being like, life's short. Like, you can raise a kid real easy when you got no limb, you know? Real easy. Because that's an accident.
Yeah.
That wasn't planned. You know,
Sure.
I'm not in the army. I don't. Like, this is no one's
is real
fault,
world
dude. Like,
examples.
this is an old person that's allowed to drive, and your dad was on the bike. That's it.
That's it.
And not only just teaching him morals, I could call her bitch face until the cows come home. You know, she's probably 6 feet under by now too. So what's the point? But in all areas, being morally good about the scenario for him. I might look like a bitch, whatever it may be. Like, as long as he goes about looking at the situation the way he's meant to, you know.
Yeah.
It's a speed hump, dude. You're not dead, like, or whatever. You know what I mean? You got to keep pushing because life isn't fair.
No.
Always, you know. We'll be in the car, see a homeless person, ask them for change or whatever. I'm like, Grayson, you don't think that guy would die to be in my shoes? I have one arm. That guy would die to be in the car with you and me be holding that sign. I'm like, he knows, you know? Because he's like, we don't have it bad. Like, I'll show you bad, dude. You know what I mean? I was like, one Christmas, we'll go downtown LA and give out gifts. You know, you want to see some real stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough to, like, look at life like that. Because I could look at it differently, too, you know? And I'm just kind of blessed that, like, at least for him, like, at least he doesn't have some, like, crappy role model or, like, half-assed kind of,
He's got a great
like,
one.
yeah, it's just, like, whatever it takes, dude, you know? Like, you'll do it. I mean, I moved to America at 19 years old, dude, with $1,000 in a suitcase. I mean, come on. Living in Glendale with Benji Madden. You know? Like, you got to do it, you know?
You got to live your dream.
And whatever that dream may be.
Well, thank you very much for being
Gracias,
here today.
gracias.
Please do not forget Falcon Born Friday,
Oh,
the
yeah, for
12th,
sure.
this week, second floor gallery, starting at 5 to 9 p.m. 126 Main Street, Huntington Beach, California. See you there. Thank you,
Pleasure,
sir.
guys. Thank you.
It's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast coming to you live every single Tuesday, the #1 live podcast in the fucking world. Whoop. Mario, I know you guys. I was going to ask Johnny what he had, but do you have?
Just go, no. Go
Johnny,
on.
nothing?
Nothing.
Mario,
wow.
I know you got a bunch of shit.
If you guys are headed out to Persian Square for that big old 80s free concerts, come on down to Mal's Bar. We're going to have an after party. And we're celebrating a little Moz Disco 15-year
is that?
anniversary this Saturday at Mal's Bar, 2331 South Hill Street. So come on down. We're only, I think, like a mile away from that park or some shit.
Who's going to be performing there?
When in Rome, Naked Eyes, the guy who sings Ghostbusters, Charles something.
What?
Yeah.
What else you got going?
I
I know you're going to be in Vegas.
just got back from Vegas yesterday,
Oh,
actually.
shit,
that?
the world tour.
It was great. We got to work the Glass Bell show, get to do some sound for the boys of Fever and Social Order. That was phenomenal. I know, let's see. Oh, Danger Pro Wrestling is happening July 27th, Saturday in
What?
San Diego. I'll be out there filming some lucha, so come out if you're in the San Diego area.
Ooh,
Danger Pro Wrestling.
Where's that at?
San Diego? Oceanside, I think.
Oh, that's fucking far.
Not far.
And can you give out your
Ocean.
social medias and all that good stuff so people can check you out?
Yeah, I just have at Falcon Born, FalconBourne.
You can check out all your
The
artwork.
website's on pause just because I'm changing everything. Like, it's there, but I don't know what you see when you go to falconborn.com.
And when you go to the Instagram, can we purchase stuff from
Yeah,
you? Can
yeah.
we buy prints?
Just for right now, everyone's just been like DMing and stuff
yeah.
just until the site's up. So, and even then it's there. I'm just replacing stuff so people can't use it or whatever, you know? So it's under construction, but legitimate construction. Not like, you remember that back in the day where that was like the go-to?
Yeah, for a year.
To where it was
under
like 1 out of 5
construction.
websites were like under construction. You're like, what
Because they
the?
were trying to sell it.
Well, and
That's
everybody
Right.
just knew that you had to have a website, but didn't know how
Yeah.
to do it. So they're like, just buy it and we're under construction, under
Yeah.
construction.
It's like Google with 3 O's.
why. Yeah.
Under construction.
Goo goo. Well, it's the West Coast
yeah.
Pop Lock Podcast, and we will see you next Tuesday. Thank you very much for coming out, hanging out, telling us your story, and just talking about, life in general. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hell
You're
yeah.
welcome, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Goodbye.
The #1 live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop love!